Hey guys, it's Casey and welcome back to my channel. Or really I should be saying welcome back to yet another episode of the weird and wild and at times absolutely terrifying life of working at the only medical facility for 450 kilometres in the Australian Outback. Or really, for my American friends who are too lazy to do the math, I think that's roughly like 280 or 90 miles, I don't know. Something around that, but the specifics isn't that important. The point that I'm trying to make is that we are a very, very long drive away from anything of note. And there's just me and one other doctor working here, and he's actually younger than I am because I know a lot of you think that I'm very young, but I'm actually not as young as you think. I'm closer to 40 than I am to 20, so not that young, but our ages aren't actually the point that I'm trying to make. The point that I'm trying to make is that there's no secondary opinion and there's no one coming to save you. So if you don't like what we have to say, frankly, you've got a very long, long walk. I'm talking like tens, if not hundreds of hours of walking through the Australian Outback if you want that secondary opinion that bad. Because unfortunately for you, it is just me, this other doctor, our 3 co-workers, and an ever-revolving door of international backpackers with very questionable qualifications working here at any given point in time. And not only that, but because we have very, very fancy medical equipment here at the clinic, the state refuses to send any specialists in because apparently we should know how to work it with no training for working the new shit. But none of us can, so we all just live in a constant state of terror. Let me be completely frank with you, it can be pretty boring working out here sometimes. Other times it can be pretty bonkers, but believe it or not, it's not actually the crazy stuff or the boring stuff that gets to you the most working out here. No. It's the rules. These are the rules in question. Why is there Ralph Wiggum? I have absolutely no idea, but it just adds more evidence to my theory that whoever came up with the rules passed them down through a series of increasingly strange chain emails in the late 1990s. So I'm going to read you the rules, and you can tell me whether or not you think they're weird. Well, actually, I don't need you to tell me whether or not you think they're weird because I already know for a fact that they're weird, but I will read them to you anyway. Rule number 1. Take care of all equipment, tools, medical supplies, medical equipment, spare parts. The generator can be found in the clinic director's office. Don't mess with it unless you want trouble. Never let the lights go out for longer than 5 minutes. If the power goes out, which it will, switch on the generator. If the generator fails due to a technical error, activate the bell. And just a quick note, I have been working here for going on 6 years, and I still have no idea what the bell is other than the fact that there is a switch next to the microwave in the staff room labelled the bell. Rule number 2. Keep a record of the names and arrival/departure times of everybody who enters the hospital. This includes those only coming to utilize the cafe and/or pharmacy, all medical personnel and other employees employed by the clinic. The names are to be recorded in the purple notebook provided. Record all phone calls. Do not delete any phone recordings, emails, or CCTV footage. So the next rule is, of course, rule number 3. And rule number 3 is the longest, and it is also, in my opinion, the most strangest of all the rules. And I'm not sure if I can get through it all in a single take, but we're going to power through and see how we go. So rule number 3. Write down a physical description of all walk-ins. Descriptions of locals is not needed unless something appears amiss. Report all calls and/or walk-ins that seem suspicious to management and/or local authorities. If when trying to contact management and/or local authorities, you receive an endless dial tone, the personal mobile phone number of the local senior inspector can be found on the inside back cover of the purple leather notebook. In the rare case this number also fails, turn the radio speaker volume to exactly 100 volume. Place both walkie-talkies on the front desk and evacuate the building for no less than 10 minutes, after which you may re-enter the premises and phone 000. Repeat as necessary. Do not gather personal belongings. Do not evacuate patients who are currently on the premises. And again, I think these rules are really, really old and outdated because our town doesn't even have 000 anymore, something about municipal budget cuts. So instead of having 000, we just have the number for the Royal Flying Doctor Service on a poster next to the phone. And half the time, even then, we need to leave a message and they might or might not get back to us because they don't like to answer it if they know it's us calling them. Anyway, rule number 4. Do not leave the front desk unattended. In circumstances where you must step away without cover, take one walkie-talkie with you while leaving the second walkie-talkie on the front desk in plain view. When you return to the front desk, Check the CCTV footage for the entire time period for which you were absent. Rule number 5. When the fog rolls in, do not exit the building. Do not allow others to exit or enter the building under any circumstances. Lock and cover all external doors and windows. Turn on the generator. Keep the walkie-talkies on. If the generator fails, activate the bell. Rule number 6. Phone calls are 30 cents per minute. No exceptions. Yes, and in this instance, I means the clinic owner and not me personally, do check the phone records. And I do know rule number 6 off by heart because it is the rule that I implement most often, because at least once every other month we get someone wandering back in from the bush claiming that they just escaped aliens or government conspiracies or cannibals, and could I just please let them use the phone? But rules are rules. I'm not inclined to risk losing my job just because you decided to escape captivity without a little bit of extra change in your pocket. Rule number 7. Patient room 6 is permanently occupied, always. No exceptions. Under no circumstances should a patient be assigned room 6 without the direct authorization of the director. The light in room 6 is to remain on at all times. Now, do not ask me about the law of room 6 because I do not know. I once asked the clinic director when I first came what the deal was with it, and he just looked me in the eyes and asked, "Are you sure you want to know?" And no, I don't want to know because I have enough issues in my own life without adding to it unnecessarily, so I've just never learnt and it's never been an issue. Rule number 8. If the phone rings at 3:33 a.m., do not answer it. If a voicemail is left, delete it. Rule number 9. The clinic director is never wrong. His word is law. In the event he tells you to amputate an arm even though the presenting injury is on the leg, you do it. If he says to discharge a patient at death's door, you smile and prepare the discharge papers without question. Rule number 10. Wear a name badge. Like I said, working here is an experience. I wish I could say it was a positive experience, but I'd be lying. But someone's got to do it, so it might as well be me. And I get paid good money and get my accommodation, this shitty little flat, free of charge. So that's a positive, and most days aren't really that exciting, and they're just a normal level of weird, I think. Maybe a little bit more than normal compared to, a cityscape, but still nothing to write home about, I don't think. We get strange phone calls every now and then, which is usually just some local saying some sort of gibberish message that I can't understand, or every now and then we go into the waiting room and see that the Simpsons episodes that play on the TV in there in between the health infomercials is starting to, play backwards, but that's no big deal. Every now and then when I work here alone, I swear that I can hear someone talking in one of the empty patient rooms, and it's not always room 6. In fact, I don't think it's ever room 6. And it's not, like a clear conversation. It's more like a muffled scramble of words and noises. Honestly, the most interesting thing that I've seen lately is that when I was walking into work yesterday, I saw a bird perched on the power lines across the street staring at me. And I swear it was almost like human-like. But I know that unless there's some weirdo out there trying to mix bird DNA with human genetics, I'm probably just being overly paranoid, which I've heard is something that can happen when you live in an isolated place for so long. So I don't think that's unusual. But don't get me wrong, I have plenty of really weird stories about the town and the clinic, especially the clinic, that I'm sure I'll share with you over the next coming weeks and months. But for right now, it's really, really late and I'm really, really tired. So I just want to go and watch Law and Order SVU for the rest of the night and then go to bed early. So I guess this is Casey signing off for the night, and I hope you guys have a safe night and be careful out there.